Hello, welcome to Advanced Qualitative Research Methods. I'm Terry Huffman, as you likely know, and for the next few weeks we're going to be talking a lot about not just research methods, but perhaps more specifically about your dissertation and the dissertation process, and getting you prepared for this final leg of your doctoral studies. I know you're all excited about that, and I am too. In fact, we all are. This is the component of the course of your studies that your faculty very much looks forward to guiding you through your dissertation. You have the syllabus there in the Foxtel website, so I'm not going to go over the specifics. We'll meet on the 9th, July 9th, and go over a little bit about the policies and those kinds of things. I just want to give you a heads up on a few things to think about and consider as we get ready to meet as a class. There are a couple of things going on in this course. Obviously, it's to get you acquainted with qualitative research methods. In fact, the first week of class, which is totally online, you'll be reviewing on your own the 5 major traditions of qualitative research: narrative inquiry, phenomenology, ethnography, grounded theory, case studies. Those are the 5 basic approaches. And get a little familiar with them, and we will talk more about them when we meet face to face. But for the 2 weeks that we are together, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about the mechanics of qualitative research, a little bit about analyzing data, some notions and some suggestions. One thing I want to make you aware of, and you'll get tired of me saying this, but here it goes for the first time, is that qualitative research is so very different from quantitative research, where quantitative research is kind of formulaic. There very much is a right way and a wrong way of doing quantitative research: how to collect data, how to analyze data, how to perform statistical procedures. In qualitative research, a lot of times we're given a list of suggestions about how to proceed. There's no cookbook out there. Well, there are a lot of cookbooks out there, but they are really written in the spirit of, here are some things that you might want to consider doing. Now, certainly there are wrong ways of doing qualitative research that we'll talk about, but what I want to impress upon you immediately is that you have a lot of freedom when you do qualitative research to craft how you collect data and how you analyze those data, as long as you're being precise and fair to your data and to your participants. Then you'll be fine. So there are a variety of ways doing this kind of research. So in this course, I'll be giving you a lot of suggestions and some hints, but I will fall short of telling you exactly this is the way you have to do things, because it's just not true. It would be disingenuous to say that. I will draw a lot upon my own personal experience. Professionally, I've been doing qualitative research for a very long time. I didn't get all this white hair for no reason at all. So my kids, I guess, gave it to me, but beyond that. So I'll draw a lot upon that experience and give you some stories that will illustrate various points. The one thing I want us to do a lot in the 2 weeks that we are together is for me to react to you about questions you have about your ideas for research and your research project. Now, I realize that I will only be chairing a few of you in the class in your dissertation, so I always kind of couch my advice to you by saying, whatever your chair says, go with that. Obviously, your chair is the most important guide that you'll have in doing the dissertation. But I want to hear about what your ideas are, and we can talk about the specifics and different issues you may want to consider and different ways in which you can do things. So we want to tailor our discussion as much as possible to not only getting some broad strokes in about qualitative research, like things like interviewing, analyzing data, those kinds of things, but also hear from you. We'll also talk about research ethics and give you kind of a refresher on some ideas, some notions that you'll want to keep in mind about things like IRB and research ethics, and the process there. And we'll also talk about the process of the dissertation. Speaking of which, the major assignment for this class will be that you'll put together an initial Pressy assignment. Now, this is not your actual Pressy, okay, but it's something you can write up, at least in part. You may not write all the Pressy, and we'll talk about what that means and what that is in the course. So don't panic if you don't know yet. We will have you put together at least part of that, a good chunk of it anyway, and something you can take to your chair later on and kind of hit the ground running. Once you leave this class, you can go right into the next step of doing the Pressy and getting a proposal ready. Okay, so take a look at the syllabus. Just kind of be aware of generally what's going on. If you have any questions, please contact me, and I'll be glad to respond. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all very, very soon.